Hello friends, welcome to another exciting episode of one of my favorite shows. Drum roll please, the Supercars. Today's show is extra special. Want to know why? Because it is about one of my favorite cars out there. A car which combines a muscle car and a track car experience all in one. What is a muscle car? A muscle car? Well, muscle cars, by definition, should have loud, menacing, in-your-face styling. Check. They should have a V8 producing a lot of horsepower. Check. They should have a manual transmission, a proper manual transmission. And it should do a proper burnout. It should go through tires like a Cookie Monster would go through a jar of cookies. A track car should have proper aerodynamics on it so that it produces a lot of downforce. It should have a lot of speed. It should be faster on the track. It should have extra sticky tires. So that it remains planted and goes around the track really fast.
Injections or two to wipe this grin off my face. I got this car a couple of months ago and I've been driving it almost daily and enjoying it. But today we got it out on these mountain roads and curves. This thing sticks to the road with those extra sticky tires, the aero, and just looks phenomenal. I bet you cannot find anything on the market which can perform the way this car performs, the way it looks for the price point it has. And one thing I want to mention is, let me show you something which is very, very cool. Okay, if I can find the keys, there you go. There's a lot of stuff in here, but yeah, this. You know what this is? This is part of the flat plane crank of the Voodoo V8 naturally aspirated engine which lives in this car. And they are so proud that every owner gets this piece. And I personally have displayed it in my formal room proudly. Car enthusiast, amazing at photography and shooting. And now he's going to tell us all about what he thinks about this car. By the way, we are in the no parking anytime. But that's okay.
All right, well, I think for me, the starting point is obviously the looks. I feel like Ford did such a good job with the exterior looks with this car, because the regular Mustang, it does look aggressive, but in some points when you can compare it to a V6 or something that someone can rent at Enterprise, you know, you often don't want to pay that premium price for something that doesn't have that exclusivity or just that presence. But I feel like Ford knocked it out of the park with, you know, the front end design, the carbon wheels, which are unfortunately painted black from factory, but they still have this race car look with the lug nuts and everything, Brembo brakes, this amazing color. And I feel like on the R, this
Velocity blue, I love this color.
And it's just that Ford color, you know, with the Ford GT, the Ford Raptor. And I think that wing on the R models just sets it off super well.
But these carbon fiber wheels are $4,000 a piece wrapped around. Just imagine, Shelby GT350R comes with this. The GT350 does not have the carbon fiber wheels. They're lighter weight, and the difference between the R and the 350 is that this is around 80 to 100 pounds lighter because of the carbon fiber wheels, because of the rear seat delete, and many other options would make it lighter and is a more track-focused car. One thing which I love about this car is this car has its own personality. Always wanted a muscle car, but this is a muscle and a track car combined together, and only Shelby, I should say, Ford Performance to Shelby GT350R does that. And what I'm sad about is they are not going to make this anymore. I think that's a bad decision, Ford. You got to make many more of these. This is the best so far which you have produced. This is only GT350 specific. It's a wider fender, and this is all functional.
Yeah, and even under here, you know, you see this type of stuff on, you know, McLaren Senna's with the open fender rear with the side skirt, and it just continues throughout the car to make the car like more slick around the track.
Amazing job. This is a fun car. Every time I drive it, it's a whole new experience. The manual transmission, which is made by, I think it's Tremec, is short shifter, does very well, revs all the way to 8,250 RPM. This experience is unmatched by any car. I highly recommend anybody who wants a muscle track car, that may be a new term, manual transmission, which is a dying breed, get this car. You will not be disappointed. Welcome, friends, to the Shelby GT350R cockpit. It is an amazing place to be. If you look around, everything is so cool in here. You can see the carbon fiber trim over here, oil gauges, very cool air vents, Bang & Olufsen's stereo system. This is all touchscreen and Apple Play compatible. Works seamlessly. You press the button and it's really quick. Everything kind of moves very quickly over here. Seems like I ran out of my subscription, navigation, and so on and so forth. But the cool part is right here. Alcantara line steering wheel, red stitching over here, and then this red leather strip in the middle. Very, very cool touch. You can see the Shelby Cobra right here in the middle. Steering wheel controls are pretty cool. I would like them to be a little bit more tastefully done, but everything you need is here. There's volume, the tuners, there's a Siri kind of thing over here, plus there's the cruise control. One cool thing which tells us this is a proper track car, you have 3 different suspension settings. You can see if I press this button, if you see up front over there, normal mode, and then there's sport mode. Actually, there are 2. And it depends on how you want to drive. Normal is more comfortable. Sports, obviously, you expect that. But then cool thing is right here, the steering. There are 3 steering settings, normal, sports, and comfort. And I usually keep it in sports mode. It gives me a good feeling of the road, and I get good feedback. So that's cool. Plus, if you look around over here, this is the cool portion of the car. This is the exhaust mode. There are 2 modes. One is sports and one is normal. I keep it in the sports mode. It's louder. It's a muscle car and track car. So I want to feel that the muscle car feeling. I want to hear the exhaust all the time. Traction control off, launch control, and all of this is very nicely done. And of course, how can you forget? Manual 6-speed transmission made by Tremec. It's super smooth, short shifter, very, very cool. I love it. One thing I would like to see different, is, even though the RPM meter you can see revs all the way up to 8,250 RPM, which is crazy, but it takes a long time getting there. I don't mind because the noise it makes getting there is amazing. but I would like it to get there quicker. So that's something which I guess different gearing ratio would can easily fix, but that's something which I think could be different. Other than that, this car is absolutely perfect. You can see Alcantara over here. If I look around over here, these are racing Recaro seats. I love the R over here, and there's a rear seat delete if you can see back there. I don't know if you can hear the exhaust. I do not need a stereo in this car. The stereo is pretty cool. The bass, the treble, the sound quality is very crisp, but half the times it's off and I'm just listening to the exhaust note, which is amazing. Go for it. This 350R does the job every time.